Alright, so this is the final video for part 1 of this toy restoration of Transformers Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus. I just want to show off all the parts that I am going to be using for the Junker Magnus that's on his way and should be here sometime Saturday. Anyway, with that said, I did actually acquire some additional pieces because these happen to turn out pretty clean. So the shoulders, I wasn't going to use these originally because I thought they actually yellowed, but going over these and looking at them up close in your face, I just had to throw that in there. Yeah, they are actually the same cream color they originally were. There's no yellowing on these at all, and the quality on them is still pretty tight. So I think that these will work out fine. So, you know, the more parts that I can use on the other Ultra Magnus that's on his way will make this one feel just more like the original one that I have. So anyway, here's the hips to Ultra Magnus legs. These are not yellowed either. Again, just running over them, didn't find any problems with them, and the joints are still pretty super tight. As you can hear, they are very nice and clicky, so we're going to be using those as well. And I forgot to put these on screen, but yeah, here are the tires, especially the ones that are still on the legs here. And you will notice right away, those rail pieces, or rib cage as I call it, those have been completely removed, as I have them in the bag of junker parts that I cannot use for the figure, right? So here they are. Very easy to remove, actually. Very long pins that all you gotta do really is just get a very tiny flathead screwdriver in between the pin and the plastic piece here for the hinge and pop them out using an earth magnet, because those suckers are very super strong, and you just slide the pin right out cleanly without any problems, and that's how it worked for me. Now, one thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, because I'm sure somebody's mentioning it right now in the comment section of the previous video, I did not use the super clean bottle on these parts, okay? I know what super clean can really do to anything that's been painted over. Strip it pretty badly. I've known that for a long time through trial and error long ago when I was doing customs. Anyway, with that said, I did use it, however, on the bumper piece. Right, so this has been completely stripped of all its chrome, which is a good thing because now I can color dye this using some super concentrated stuff here. Not this color, obviously. I'm not going to use graphite. I'm going to find something that's pretty close to what was actually on the Takara Tomy Encore series, which, you know, I think it's going to look really nice. But if you guys have any advice of what color would actually work for this, why don't you let me know down below in the comment section of the video. I may give you a shout out when I get to that part of the project, because I definitely want to switch out the chrome bumper with something that will not scratch up and chip away very easily. Right, so anyway, it is a permanent stuff. Like I said, it's super concentrated, showing off a fine example here. My 5th Titans Return Deluxe class hot rod figure that, yeah, it's a true story, guys. I went for a lot of deluxe hot rod figures just to get this far in this custom project that really didn't take off with the announcement of a Shattered Glass hot rod, or should I say Rodimus Prime for Power of the Primes. That's where this story came to an end. But it is permanent. I mean, I can scratch this up all I want, and the scuffing that you're going to see is still going to be black. You're not going to see any red on this anymore, except for the parts that were not actually color dyed because of how thin they are, and translucent plastic is not something you should actually hot boil and try to color change. It has a tendency to crack or just warp so badly that it just cannot be salvaged. So yeah, also depending on the quality of the plastic here, because this is super thin, it does actually warp a lot faster, so your time to actually work on something like this is cut pretty badly. Whereas this piece here actually is pretty solid. I think this could take a couple of minutes inside some hot boiling water, and it doesn't take much of this stuff to actually use to color all this in. As this bottle here was used 5 times. This one bottle 5 times on this same figure here. So as you can hear, I've still got quite a bit inside this one bottle. This stuff is super, super concentrated. Very strong stuff. And if it does get on your hands, it's going to be a while before they'll actually come clean. Anyway, with that said, I do not recommend this kind of red dye here, the stuff that you can pick up at Walmart. This is a trial and error as well. This has never been open and it never will be, but I am just posting it as a fine example here that this stuff does not work. It's not super concentrated. I always want to use red dye more, but this is not something you can find in stores anymore as far as I know, or at least in this area it's not possible to find, so I have to order this stuff online. So again, if you guys give me any advice of what color blue to actually use here for the bumper piece, it's going to be a while before I can actually put it in order and get it shipped here. So it may be a while before I can actually get to this part of the project. So I might make this its own video, right? So we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. Anyway, I just figured I'd show you everything that's been updated here, from the new parts, from some old parts that I actually was going to toss out and decided to give it one more look and decided, hey, you know what, actually this actually can be used. So as you can see, we've got a good chunk of Ultra Magnus still here. The only thing that I really can't use is whatever's in this bag here, from the ribcage pieces to the trailer, from the actual front portion of the truck itself, and whatever else is in this Walmart bag that I have on the side here, which is the forearm pieces. They cannot be salvaged at all, and they are actually breaking now, so they're no good. But yeah, outside of that, we got the cannon that's not usable, so the new one's on its way as well. And I know some people were wondering if I'm going to use the backpack section, because this actually looked pretty clean on the original Ultra Magnus. Only if I have to remove the electronics. If the electronics to the Junker Magnus that gets here does not work, which the seller could not tell me because he hasn't put batteries in it in so long, I wasn't going to force him to figure that one out because this is a rush job. Well, rush delivery actually. So yeah, anyway, with that said, if I have to use the electronics from this backpack, it's the only way that I'm going to use this backpack. The wings here are warped and they are yellowed still, so this is actually no good, unfortunately. But the electronics, as I showed in the previous video, still work. This still lights up and the sounds still play, with the batteries still having quite a bit of juice left in them. So yeah, I mean, I can still use the wires and all that if I need to do a little dissecting. But anyway, outside of that, not much else to address here. So I'm sorry to make this another long video, but I figured, what the hey, I wasn't going to be able to get an entire part 1 out of this, as there was still so much more that needed to be updated, because there was a lot more to still go through with this figure, from the screws, the pins, and from all these additional parts that I've now thrown in, and even showing you a little bit of a prime example of what I've got planned for this piece here. Yeah, lots to talk about, so my apologies if this turned out to be another drag out video, but it's for a good cause, right? Anyway, if you have any questions or comments or any advice at all on this project before I get started on it, which will be the next video, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section of this video. If you like this video update, why not hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to give me a sub up. And until next time, my friends, when we get started on this thing finally, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Red is Power signing off, and I will see you whenever you see me.